Hi, my name is Sarah, and welcome to your yoga practice. This particular practice is yoga to help you take a poop. And I really thought, should I teach this class? Should I not? But then I was thinking, I use yoga in so many ways, and this is one of the ways that I use yoga. And this is one of the sort of wisdoms that's been passed down, from different teachers, that yoga can help to stimulate the digestive system to get things moving. And so, I'm not a medical doctor by any means. So if you are having some serious trouble, it's better to see a healthcare professional about this. But, sometimes we get stressed and it influences, or we eat something. In particular, you need a lot of fiber to help move the digestive system. So if you're eating something that's low in fiber, right, like if you eat a lot of red meat, then the digestive system is going to be a little bit slower. So anyways, considering that, drinking enough water is also really important to keep everything flowing. So just like a very rudimentary anatomy overview is that here on the right side of your body, you have your ascending colon, and then we have our transverse, and then we have our descending colon. And so the poses that you're going to come across today are going to have an influence in this area, and I'll talk about that as we go through. All right, so I guess another word of caution is that if you ate a big meal before you do this, you might get a stomach ache. So it's recommended, maybe it depends on how fast you digest your food, but 90 minutes to 3 hours before you take this class. That way you don't get a bellyache. All right, let's get started. So come to laying on your back. And if the reason why your digestive system has gotten sluggish is because you're a little stressed, then practicing relaxation techniques is what's going to help you to create movement in your digestive system, right? So we're going to shift from fight or flight into rest and digest. Bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor, pigeon toe your feet, and rest your knees against each other. You want to feel a sense of effortlessness in the legs. So for some folks, the feet are going to go really wide, and then for other folks, they're not that wide. Bring both of your hands onto your abdomen. And if you feel comfortable, even you can give it a friendly little rub, right? And now imagine moving up the right side of your abdomen. Imagine energy flowing upwards. Imagine that energy moving across where your low ribs are. And then imagine the energy going down the left side. So keep imagining this flow, energy moving up through the right side of your abdomen, energy moving across to the left, and then energy moving down the left. Mind moves matter. And where you send your attention, the energy, the blood flow is going to go to that area. So just for a moment here, picture that correct energy flow up the ascending colon, across the transverse, and then down the descending colon. Layering in the breath, so as you inhale, feel your belly rising, and as you exhale, feel the belly soften. For this particular practice, be very, very gentle with yourself. So sometimes we might get a little aggressive with our bodies trying to control our bodies with our minds, which is a yoga practice and technique. But for our particular goal or purpose here, the way that you can kind of coax your body to operate smoothly is by being really calm and gentle and patient with yourself. So as you inhale, just this super gentle breath, belly rises. And then as you exhale, feel it soften. And more likely than not, if you are wanting to stimulate your digestion, if you're wanting to take a poo, there might be some tension in your belly right now. And it's probably emotional tension. So just be patient with yourself and see if you can start to, with the breath, kind of relax some of that tightness that's in your belly. And the goal here is to be able to really breathe into your belly and let it puff up like a Buddha statue. That's the goal. Okay, we're gonna do one more breathing exercise. And this breathing exercise you can, I would say, pretty much do at any time, except for if you were driving, then it might be a little dangerous. But you could do this sitting at your desk, or even, if the person isn't paying that close attention to you, you could do this while you were talking to somebody. And this, in my experience, has really helped me to stimulate my digestion. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Empty your breath. 2, 3, 4. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Empty. 2, 3, 4. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Empty. 2, 3, 4. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4. And now breathe normally, whatever that means to you. Wind removing pose, Pavanmuktasana. Like literally in Sanskrit, this is wind removing pose. So you're going to hold on to your right shin bone and move your right knee towards your right armpit. And this is massaging your ascending colon. Take those Buddha belly breaths, 5 Buddha belly breaths. See if you can feel the massaging effect in your abdominals. Both knees up. If you're like me and you have kind of a tight hip area, you're just going to hold on to your shin bones. If it feels comfortable for your body, you can wrap your forearms around your legs. And so this is going to massage the transverse. 5 breaths. Breathe into your belly. One more breath. And then hold on to your left shin bone, right leg long. Here's descending colon massage, 5 breaths. If it feels right, if it feels comfortable, really let the Buddha belly expand here. Again, both knees up. Catch under your legs, rock up and down your spine if it feels okay on your back. If it hurts your back, just roll to one side. Come up all fours position, tabletop pose. Flatten your palms. If this is a little too much on your wrist, punch the floor. Inhale, back bend cow. Exhale, forward round cat. Inhale, back bend. Have a little tone of your belly. Exhale, forward round. Really press your navel up and in. And if it would feel good for you, let's put in a little wrist stretch here. Fingers back towards your knees. Turn the hands back around, hands, shoulders width distance apart. Curl your toes under, down dog pose, bend one knee at a time. And then this is it might be a little bit more advanced, but one way to massage your digestive system here is to, from your pubic bone to your navel, kind of, you could relax the belly right in this pose, or kind of tighten it up and in. And just feeling that sort of, you'll feel like a massaging effect in your abdomen. And then when you have this is like a very light Uddiyana Bandha, navel lock, and then the breath goes more into like the sides of the rib cage. But there will be probably a little movement in the belly, as in this particular practice, we're not trying to be too strict with the belly so that we can treat it with a feeling of love and respect versus, like controlling it. Okay, and then from here, walk up to the top of your mat, hang over your legs, forward fold. If it feels good, you can give it a little wiggle, shake the head, relax tension from your neck. And then coming into a halfway lift, find that light tone of the abdominal muscles, and this perhaps also helps protect your low back. Fold over the legs as you breathe out, and then inhale, come through the halfway lift all the way to standing. Stretch your arms up over your head, and exhale, join the hands at the heart. On your next inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, float down, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Step your left leg all the way to the back of your space and set the back knee on the floor. So sometimes when we're stressed, our psoas, our hip flexors, tighten up. So one way to help reduce anxiety is to carefully stretch this area. So the front of the hip crease area, deep muscles that connect the spine to the hips. So reaching your upper body up. If you're getting back pain, lift your pelvis away from the floor, tuck the tail. But if your back feels okay, right, it's okay to have a little back bend here. And then when you draw your abdominal muscles in and up, you might feel extra stretch. Maybe you continue that reach up through the arms. And I'll take this variation, hooking the thumbs, spreading the fingers. This is a Garudasana mudra, eagle mudra, so representing strength, freedom of flight, among probably a lot of other things. And then float your hands down to frame your front foot. You're going to feel the stretch come out of the body and squeeze your back leg straight. Push into your left hand, reach your right arm up, and rotate your spine. You can always keep the back knee on the floor here and very gently feel the twist. And take a couple of deep breaths here, and when you breathe, you can feel how twisting, spine twisting, massages your internal organs, including the digestive system. There's schools of thought that believe you need to twist right before you twist left in order to get the digestion moving in that proper way. This is debated, but we'll just stick with the folk wisdom and we'll twist right before we twist left in this particular practice. Okay, take one more breath. Float your hand down. Come into upward push-up plank. So if you want to skip this next part, soften your knees to the floor. Take child's pose. Otherwise, if your wrists are feeling okay, lower slowly so the elbows go back, chest forward, all the way down. I'm using my knees because it's a little bit better for my shoulders and wrists because I do this a lot. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift your spine into cobra. Let's pause here. So cobra is historically one of the poses that's good for your digestive system. And you can feel it, right? Because your belly is pushing into the floor here and you're getting that massage. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, lower. Tighten your abdominals. Push the floor away. Plank. Downward facing dog pose. So we started by stepping the left foot back. Now we'll step the left foot forward. Back knee comes down. And then if it's okay with your hips, reaching your arms up over your head here. And again, scooping the tailbone under, lifting the chest up is going to create that length through your hip flexors, maybe right through the psoas, starts in the low back, wraps around. And so fight or flight response, right? It tightens up. So we're stretching it out, finding that length. Take an inhale. Exhale, float your hands down. Squeeze the back leg straight. Press into the right hand, lift the left arm up. Tighten the navel, open through the chest. Maybe look at your lifted thumb. Back knee could stay on the mat here. Also, if your wrist is tender, right, you can tent the fingertips up. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, hand comes down and step up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. As you inhale, rise, reach up, arms up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, this time step the right foot back, knee comes down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Step back, plank pose. Lowering chaturanga or child's pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot comes through, back knee down, arms up. Hands come down, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Actually, we're going to do two more. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step left foot back, knee down. As you inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down, back leg straight. Inhale, reach up through right arm. Exhale, hand comes down, plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale it through. Knee comes down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Squeeze the back leg straight. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, hands down. Step up, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Last one. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, flow down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, right leg back, knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, massaging your stomach. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale it through. Back knee comes down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Just take a moment to check in. How's the breath? How's your belly feeling? Okay, separate your feet as wide as the mat, or like wider if you want. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, start to squat down, coming into malasana. And so this is kind of like a pavanmuktasana, wind removing pose, especially if your thighs are pretty close to the sides of your body. If this is too much on the knees, you can keep it a little more upright, like up here. Okay, 5 breaths. You can either lift the spine or hunch forward, relax the head. So since this is yoga for pooping, right, I think traditionally this is the pooping position. And when you go into like South Asia, the toilets you actually sit on like this. And what some people found, right, is that it's easier to have a bowel movement like this than how we do it, right, which is more like sitting in a chair. So there's actually a little stool you can buy online, and it's not that expensive, and it lifts your knees up. So that's also another option for called Western toilets. Okay. And then this class is like, it's all TMI. So go ahead and put your hands down, lift your hips, parallel your feet, feel the difference in your hips, and then step back into plank and lower slowly onto your belly. Reach your arms behind you. Maybe you want to interlace your hands behind you and lift the chest up, Shalabhasana. So again, massaging your abdomen on the floor. And, you know, some people like to breathe into the belly here. And then personally, I like to kind of tighten my belly and then breathe more into my side rib cage. And then lower, maybe look over to one side, rest your head, or you can make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead. Take a really deep breath. Okay, one more. Arms back, lift the chest, lift the legs. If your spine hurts, you don't have to lift that high, stay really low, right? But if your back feels great, this will strengthen the muscles of the back. And also in our culture, we do a lot of hunching over. So back bends are really healthy way to counterbalance that chronic hunching forward in our culture, right? Text neck. You can catch your feet like this, lift the thighs if it's okay with your low back. And this is another one, like cobra and bow pose are traditionally used to stimulate the digestive system. And I don't know, I'm not super traditional sometimes, right? I come from a dance background, so I like to move around a little bit in my poses. Especially if you kind of wiggle a little side to side, you can feel it massaging your belly. Just something kind of friendly. And then lower down as you're ready. Look to one side, rest, or rest your forehead in the middle. Take a breath. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 more poses, Savasana, and then we'll do a breathing exercise, all helping to stimulate the digestive system. So come up into a sphinx, bend your right knee up like a little half frog pose. take your left arm, so the right knee is bent up, the left arm goes underneath your right armpit, and then roll open into a twist. If you get super confused, don't worry about it. Lay on your back and then take your right knee across your body into a twist. Same pose. If, because sometimes you don't have, 35 minutes, right, to do a whole yoga practice, or an hour, right, to do a whole yoga practice. So if you only did one thing, this would be a good thing to do, and then you can do this pose laying in bed. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to roll out your yoga mat. But you can feel, right, your internal organs are being stimulated. The digestive system is being stimulated here, massaged. Give yourself one more breath. And then roll over onto your belly again. Take your left knee into half frog, and then right arm opposite goes underneath, and roll the spine open into a twist. And relax what you can relax. Your hands soften, the feet, the buns, your face. And if it feels okay in your body, breathe down into your low belly here. Get that massaging effect. Take one more breath, getting even heavier on the exhale. And then roll yourself over and carefully press into child's pose. So if you do this with the knees touching, right, it's like Pavanmuktasana, the double wind removing pose. But sometimes, for example, for me, I get a little pinch in my hip, probably because how my hips are designed. So I'll need to go a little wider. But that's okay. So you can do it either way. They're both correct. And then resting your forehead. Maybe even if you do feel a little stressed or you've been experiencing some stress, rock your forehead side to side on the floor or on your hands and massage the tension out of your eyebrows. Okay, now you're invited to stay here. This next pose is a little bit more advanced. I don't know if your wrists feel warm enough for it right now. I know for me, mine do, and maybe some of yours do. So if you like, this is a more advanced variation. And apparently if you do this pose, you can digest rocks. Don't test it out, but. So you're gonna take your elbows and put them into your belly above, my belly button's right here. So I'm going to go right above my belly button, on the belly button. And, for me, I have a smaller chest, so it's easy for me to, kind of scoop it forward and then put my elbows in. But if you have a larger chest, your elbows may be a little bit wider into your sides. So just so you know. And then if you don't have a chest, right, the elbows touching, forearms touching. Okay, spread your knees wide if you're following me, and then put your hands down. And a little bit easier on the wrist is to have the hands pointing out to the sides. A little bit more difficult on the wrist, but more traditional, is to have your fingers pointing back. So you're elbowing yourself in your belly and your upper body is crouched over, and then put your head on the floor. So your elbows are pushing into your belly. Now, you can stay here. If everything feels okay, slide the knees back so that you're really balancing on your elbows. And then if you want to take the pose, lean forward and the legs are going to lift back. So this is peacock pose. And I used to do this with a breath of fire. if you did all that, you definitely feel it in your belly, feel some heat. So when you come out, just take a moment to observe, right? How's your belly feel after that? All right. Come to laying on your back. Let's take a Savasana. Not a long one. This wasn't like a really long practice. But you can have your legs out, arms by your sides. You can pigeon toe your feet, rest the knees. If it's okay to have your legs out, recommended for today's practice, take up some space. Because, right, if you're constipated, that's a contraction. So you think like the energy of your body is going like this. And so what you're looking for is expansion, letting go. And so you do that. Mirror your intention physically with this wide Shavasana. If you would like, keep visualizing the movement that you want. So, right, energy moving up through your right side abdomen, energy moving across the middle of your abdomen, and then energy moving down the left side of the abdomen. Also, if it'd feel good, give yourself a big sigh, inhaling through your nose, sigh it out. As you're ready, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, nod the head, no, gently to help loosen up your neck. And then you might hug the knees in and roll to one side and then come to a comfortable cross-legged seat. I lost my puff. Okay, hopefully it doesn't click too much over there. So this next exercise, this is also a little bit more advanced. So if you do not feel comfortable doing this, please don't pressure yourself to do this exercise. With breathing exercises, especially the more advanced kind, they can really mess up your energy if you're doing them aggressively. So just having that intention to like be kind to yourself. Of course, as you get to a more advanced level, then you may explore breathing in a more intense or aggressive way with your body. But then at that point in your practice, you know how to balance your energy if you get to, they say rajasic. And in Sanskrit, rajasic is like, you know, red face, angry, yelling. That's kind of like the intensity of rajasic. So you know how to bring it more back to sattva, which is balanced, energetic, but calm. Okay, so anyways, that's like the spiel. And now what are we going to do? Kapalabhati. So in Kapalabhati, you whip the belly in and up, and you let the movement of your abdominals push the breath out of your lungs, and the inhale is going to happen naturally. So it looks and sounds like this, and we'll do this one through the nose. Right, like something like that. And You can do it slow. You can do it really fast. Right? So I'll just do it at the pace that feels good to me. And then if you do this on your own, right, you can play around with how fast or how slow you do it. And then the other thing we're going to do, and this is super advanced, is we're going to exhale all the breath out. Make sure you're totally empty, no air. And then you're going to hug your abdominals in and up. And so I'll show this from the side. So, right, you're going to be like, so you're right, you hug it in and up, your breath is out. Don't be like me, like looking around and smiling, like a little bit more serious, right? And then when you're ready to inhale again, relax your belly and inhale calmly. So try not to let it get to that point where you're like, freaked out, right? So just relaxing your belly and then inhaling calmly. Okay, so we'll do 30 breaths. Exhale, hold the breath in, relax it, and then breathe normally. And I'll just guide one, and then if you want to keep going after that one, then just proceed with caution, right? But this exercise will definitely massage your digestive system. I'll say too, just in my own personal experience, I've been aggressive doing this, and then I had sort of a sore feeling in my stomach for the rest of the day, kind of like, if you vomit and your stomach feels sore for the rest of the day, it's kind of like that. So just be careful, right? Like you don't want to get too aggressive. Okay, anyways, let's just do it. So spine tall, hands, you could take Yana Mudra or just rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes, look at the space in between your eyebrows. Exhale, and then begin. Joining your hands at the center of your chest. Gently bow your forehead. Thank yourself for taking this time out of your day to experiment. How can I relax my nervous system? How can I move my body? How can I breathe and help myself have a healthy digestion? Thank yourself for doing this introspective, inquisitive, scientific work. We'll take a breath to seal it all in. Inhale through your nose and sigh it out the mouth. All right. Thank you so much, yogis. Also, just as a side note, when you do, the exhale Uddiyana Bandha and hug the abdominal muscles in, I've taken classes where teachers taught that without the other locks, the throat and the pelvic floor. And for me personally, it felt natural and okay. But I would say traditionally, when I learned this, like from the guru, Sri Dharma Mitra, that when you do that which actually he barely taught this. When you do that Uddiyana Bandha if you want to generate energy in the body, you're going to also squeeze your pelvic floor and then draw the chin towards the chest. And so what this does is you squeeze the pelvic floor, the energy goes up the spine, and then with the chin to the chest, you help energy move down, and then it's going to generate more power in your belly. So, next time you try this, or if you're working on this at home, you can either do it just with the Uddiyana Bandha, or you can give your pelvic floor a squeeze, chin to the chest. If you choose to engage the bandhas like that, then remember how you relaxed your belly before you inhaled? You'll relax the belly, relax pelvic floor, and lift the chin, and then inhale. So you release all the locks and then breathe in. Okay. Because this is all kind of like a more controversial realm of the yoga practice, I am very curious about your feedback. So if you feel brave enough to comment below, let me know. And if you don't feel comfortable letting me know how this video went for you, feel free to email me, sarahblowersyoga@gmail.com. Sara Blowers is spelled like flowers, but with the B instead of the F, and then yoga, sarahblowersyoga@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram @sarahblowersyoga. So drop me a line, let me know how this went for you. Let me know if you know any kind of physiological information that I misrepresented here, or that you heard of. What else? And then too, just let me know how this practice felt for your body, for your mind. And let me know if you want, if it helped you in your goal of dropping a deuce. All right, see ya.